Hi everyone, Beckett Elite Building here. I just wanted to offer some suggestions for owners whose construction has stopped due to builder insolvency, particularly now that this Porter Davis event has occurred. So the first thing to do is to make sure you're not making any further payments with respect to your building contract. Next is to contact Grant Thornton or the administrator of or liquidator of whatever building company has gone into liquidation. Grant Thornton is the appointed liquidator with respect to the Porter Davis situation, and their phone number is 83202222. So you need to make sure that you're listed as an interested party, and then they should be able to provide you with a frequently asked questions sheet, which will tell you how to go about how the process unfolds. It's also at that time that you should find out who the warranty insurance provider is, and you can otherwise contact the VMIA for that information as well. Next, you should attend your construction site just to make sure that it is safe and securely locked, and you can remove the original builder's signage because that will take it away as being a target to anyone that's, been financially injured in this whole situation. You can contact the site fencing company to either take over the hire fees for that particular site, or contact your own fence hire company if they haven't been paid for ages and there's a backlog of fees. You might like to get a new site fence organised. You should also change the door and window locks at this time to ensure that no one can access your property. Before you move on with a new builder, there's quite a few things that you need to do. So you need to ensure that you have confirmation of the termination of your existing contract in writing. And if you haven't got that from your builder, you should be able to get that from the liquidator. You also need to get confirmation of release of copyright for the existing plans through the liquidator. And that will then allow you to go on and use them, and the builder to use them without any concern about recourse. You need to obtain any inspection reports undertaken by the building surveyor for the inspection stages, as well as any other reports you've had taken by an independent building inspector, and it is highly recommended that you do that. It's so important to be able to clearly define the scope of works that you're entering into with your new builder, and that avoids any confusion and gives you both clear expectations going forward. You also need to obviously get your plans, engineering, energy report, colour and material selections, the soil report, the BAL report, any developer approval and related documentation that's required for the building permit. You will also, very important, to obtain the certificates of compliance. So there's two for the electrician, there's one for the insulation, the heating and cooling, the waterproofing, the roof plumber, the underground plumber, the general plumbing, the glazing, both internal for your mirrors and showers if that's already been undertaken, or even for your windows, it's a separate certificate. And you also, if it's relevant to your overlay, you'll need your termite certificates, and there are two parts to those as well. Now, they can be difficult to get because, some people have not been paid and they're quite upset and they want to hold on to that, which is completely understandable. However, they're obliged to hand that over, but it's not uncommon for trades to charge a reasonable admin fee to release those documents to you. You'll also need your asset protection permit, your building permit, any other council approvals if there's report and consent or anything at all like that, and the design guidelines if you're in an estate. You'll also need to allow for an amendment to the building permit. So that's where you'll pay a small admin fee to the building surveyor, and then they will amend the building permit to appoint the new builder as the builder on that particular project. Just before you commence construction with your new builder, you should arrange for CCTV to be undertaken, like an inspection of your plumbing, and that will then just ensure that everything's clear and there's no issues arising as you go along in construction. So it just helps get rid of the potential things popping up, and that should be able to be organised through your new builder. You should also note that if there are any unforeseen issues that arise during construction that haven't been accounted for or weren't included in the scope of works but are a clear defect from the original works, you can lodge a new claim with the VMIA for those defective works, and that's separate to your warranty insurance payout. That goes on top. And so what generally happens there is, obviously, if you wait for that to all go through the VMIA, you'll be waiting quite a long time. So the best thing you can do is generally get a variation from your new builder, pay for that, and then seek reimbursement through the VMIA when you make that claim. You should also, of course, obtain your own independent legal advice. I am not speaking as a lawyer or trying to give advice in any way. I am purely discussing this because we are builders who have sadly taken on many projects where builders have gone insolvent or been unable to continue the works, and we have worked with homeowners doing this for years now, and it is hard work, but it's also an absolute honour and a privilege to take someone's difficult experience and turn it into, or work your hardest to turn it into a positive experience and hand that home over to those well-deserving customers. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out. Okay, take care.